O'Malley is a light heavyweight. He is punching above his weight class.
O'Malley had first publicly stated his plan for a new ballpark in 1952. After that, in letter after letter after letter, he privately pled his case to the almighty Moses, who in response after response after response repeatedly told him to get lost.
The reality of, am I getting my message across? I want to build this stadium. I want to pay for it. I need help in assembling the land. I think it led to frustration.
What is the intersection of Atlantic and Flatbush Avenue? It's the Long Island Railroad Terminal. It was directly antithetical to Moses's philosophy that city resources should be devoted to highways, parkways, and anything to do with the car.
After a few years getting nowhere lobbying Moses, O'Malley dropped a bomb, announcing the Dodgers would begin playing 7 games a year in Jersey City and would need to be out of Ebbets Field for good in 2 years. That got the attention of New York City Mayor Robert Wagner, who immediately invited Moses and O'Malley over for a chat.
The two titans show up at Gracie Mansion, and O'Malley makes his case.
You have an automobile. It's a lovely car, but it's a 1913 car, and you just can't afford to keep up the repairs on it any longer. We have to have a new stadium. We have to have a stadium that we can afford to operate, that can hold the kind of a capacity we think we need to stay in business.
Robert Moses listens to this, and you can sense that he's getting angrier and angrier because Robert Moses does not want to have to sit on the same podium as Walter O'Malley, the man he's been unable to extricate himself from for the last few years, and hear what he knows to be a threat.
What you say in effect to the mayor is that unless a way is found to provide a new home for the Dodgers at this particular location, that you're going to take their marbles and leave town.
It is as if he is saying, "That right, fatso?" So dismissive is Moses of O'Malley.
Mr. O'Malley, what'll you do if you can't find a place in Brooklyn?
Well, we're going to find a place in Brooklyn. We want to keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. They belong in Brooklyn. We're prepared to spend $6 million of the Dodgers stockholders' money to build in Brooklyn if we can get a site at Atlantic and Flatbush Avenue, the one we want.
Waller did think that the Dodgers were an institution in Brooklyn, and that anything the Dodgers wanted, he would get.
I'm absolutely sold that we're going to be able to work this out.
But he forgot that Mr. Moses was not a Brooklyn man.
In fact, Robert Moses, the Manhattan-bred urban visionary, was never against building a new ballpark for the Dodgers. He simply had his own idea for its location, and it was nowhere near downtown Brooklyn.
The ballpark went in Queens. The ballpark went on the site of what had been the World's Fair in Flushing Meadows. This was, in Moses' view of the thing, the geographic center of the city.
You do not need any other explanation. He wants the stadium there.
Walter O'Malley is playing a losing game. There is not enough leverage that he can bring to bear here. At long last, he has finally encountered somebody who he cannot defeat. He can't beat this guy.
But the O'Malley was not to be counted out just yet.
By June of 1956, Walter O'Malley is depressed. He closes his office door. Walter O'Malley never keeps the door closed.
And for 3 or 4 days, never opened, and he didn't have any visitors. I'm concerned about this.
And one day, the door opens up, and O'Malley comes out, and he says cryptically, "I've just gotten a phone call from Los Angeles. I think we're going to get what we want." Powerless to take on Robert Moses, he finally has a wedge, which is, "I have another suitor." Now what are you going to do?
Well, we all thought that he was just using it to get leverage against Moses. We figured Waller's a native New Yorker. Well, why would he want to move to California? We thought it was a con job.
Los Angeles, California, with its sunshine, palm trees, and movie star cool, was, in the 1950s, an ever-expanding land of opportunity. but located 1,600 miles away from St. Louis, the National League's westernmost city. It was Siberia in major league circles.
The Pacific Coast League had two teams here, the Hollywood Stars and the Los Angeles Angels.
It was minor league, is exactly what it was. It was the minor leagues. One of the funniest things about the Hollywood Stars was the tourists would come and expect to see stars out there playing in this Hollywood Stars baseball game.
It was indeed a long way from the majors. But as jet plane travel became cheaper in the 50s, calls had already begun for big league baseball on the West Coast. And no voice was louder than that of a 22-year-old Wunderkind city councilwoman named Rosalind Wyman.
We had no Major League Baseball, and to me that meant we were not a growing city. We thought we were better than New York, but in many ways we weren't.
Right before the World Series in 1955, Walter O'Malley gets a letter from Rosalind Wyman.
I had read some obscure article that the Dodgers